Forgiveness is foundational for a couple relationship. You know, it can make the difference between a healthy and an unhealthy relationship. And today we're going to talk about what forgiveness is not.
We are Dr. David and Theresa Mabry from One Another Marriage. Hey, thanks for stopping in on our YouTube channel. Please hit that thumbs up, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications so you'll know when we have a new video out.
Okay, so we decided to do this because we understand there are a lot of myths that surround forgiveness.
Right.
And sometimes it's really important to figure out, okay, what forgiveness is not rather than what it is. Although we will cover what it is here in a little bit. So here we go. We have 4 things that we want to share with you. And the first one is forgiveness is not necessarily forgetting the offense, which goes against what we kind of are taught, right? It's always taught, we were always taught that forgive and forget, forgive and forget. And it's not necessarily to forgive does not necessarily mean that you forget.
Our second myth of what forgiveness is not, it's not condoning or excusing what the offender did. So that's a good one,
Yep.
right? And depending upon the offense as well, but it's not condoning or excusing what the offender did.
That's right. And also what it is it's not diminishing the severity of the offense. And so when you forgive, it doesn't necessarily mean that it does not have the effects. So forgiveness is like this. The offense is the pebble thrown in a cool, like smooth water, right? The pebble goes in, and forgiveness is when that pebble disappears under the water. But the ripple effects, that's the non-diminishing part.
Right.
You know, the effects of the offense could still be there even though forgiveness is given.
And the last myth that we have for you is that forgiveness is not necessarily reconciling with the offender. Sometimes there has been abuse, or it's an unsafe time, or possibly it's just impossible. There could be someone who's passed away, and while there was a grievance there and you needed to be able to forgive that person, they are dead now, and so there's no way that they're going to be able to reconcile with you. So forgiveness is not necessarily reconciling with the offender.
It is. Forgiveness is the decision or choice to give up the right for vengeance or to get even with the other person. And the effects of this is that it will allow you to be free. How do you like that definition?
Yeah, that's a really... There's a Christian author and professor that David and I like this quote. He is known Lewis B. Smedes, and his quote is, "To forgive is to set a prisoner free and then discover that the prisoner was actually you." Really great quote, because that's what we were talking about with the definition of forgiveness, is that it is a freeing act that you are giving to someone else. And you're really freeing up yourself. You're not going to hold on to some of these grievances and things.
That's right. Before we leave you today, we do have some benefits as well that we want to share. We didn't want to be all negative and just have the nots. Although those can be positive because it kind of dispels those myths in our brain. So the first one is that the benefit is that it really is something that we do for ourselves.
Another benefit is that it actually frees us from resentment and bitterness, that we won't hang on to those.
And the final benefit would be that it makes you healthier, healthier in every way. So research would show us that those that release bitterness, to have forgiveness, that they physically, emotionally, spiritually experience this freedom and this health and vitality. And those that hold on to it show those unhealthy signs that wear on the body, the spirit, and the mind and soul.
And finally, remember, sometimes you are the one who has offended, right? So as that offender, you need to be patient with the process of forgiveness. Too many times we go to the person, we apologize, we ask for forgiveness, and they're not quite ready to extend that to us yet. So don't be demanding of that. Don't be just like, no, you must forgive me right now. But remember, you've done your part. Show that forgiveness, apologize for the offense or the hurt that it caused, and then you need to let it unfold. Be patient. Forgiveness takes time.
That's absolutely right. We hope this time today has been helpful to you in your relationship, your most important relationships, in seeking and granting forgiveness. Thanks for joining us today.